Ever Vlog. I am Daisy G, but you can call me Asha for short. For today's video, I am going to discuss African literature. And also, I will share to you my African literature scrapbook. But before that, please subscribe to my channel and don't forget to hit the notification bell for more videos. Take a look. So, African oral literatures includes praise poem, love poems, tales, ritual dramas, and moral instructions in the form of proverbs and fables. It also includes epics and narratives. There are different literary forms in African literature, and one of them is the lyric poem. So in lyric poem, it doesn't tell a story, but instead, like songs, it creates a vivid, expressive testament to a speaker's thoughts or emotional state. It is written to be sung with an accompaniment, which is a harp or a set of reed pipes. So one example of this is The Sorrow of Kudjo by Violet Tribe. Let's go with our next literary form, which is African poetry. So this is more eloquent in its expression of negritude, since it is the poet who first articulated their thoughts and feelings about the inhumanity suffered by their own people. So negritude was an anti-colonial, cultural, and political movement founded by a group of African and Caribbean students in Paris in the 1930s. So they sought to reclaim the value of blackness and African culture. Example of African poetry is Paris in the Snow. So Paris in the Snow is a swing between assimilation of French and European culture or negritude. It is intensified by the poet's Catholic piety. Next is The Totem by Leopold Senghor. So this poem shows the internal linkage of the living with the dead. And next is Letters to Martha by Denis Brutus. This is his most famous collections that speak of the humiliation, the despondency, the indignity of prison life. So another work of Denis Brutus is The Train Journey. So this poem reflects his social commitment as he reacts to poverty around him and amidst material progress, and especially inaccurately felt by innocent victims, which are children. Next is Africa by David Diop. So it addresses the problems of Africa brought to it by colonialism. It also gives a message to Africans to bring about change and freedom. So this addresses the speaker's love and concern for his native land. So he addresses also and informs readers that once Africa was a place of proud foreigners. So next is the Song of Luino by Katbilitek. So it is a sequence of poems about the clash between African and Western values. And it is regarded as the first important poem in English to emerge from Eastern Africa. So Luino's song is a plea for the Ugandans to look back to traditional village life and recapture African values. Let's go with African novels. So The Houseboy by Ferdinand Oyono. Next is Things Fall Apart and No Longer at Ease by Chinua Achebe. Next is the Poor Christ of Bomba by Mongo Betty. Bomba. Next is The River Between Us by James Gungi. I don't know the pronunciation, so please correct me if I'm wrong, and please forgive me if I'm wrong. The next is The Here's to the Past by Dries Charlie. Next is A Few Days and Few Nights by Mabela Sone Dipoko. And let's go with African writers. So the first one is Leopold Sedar Senghor. His works are Song of the Shadows and some major elegies, um, Black Offerings, and some poetical work. Next is uh, Okot Pibitek. Also, he made the Song of Luino, Song of Vocal, African Religious and Western Scholarship, Religion of Centerlu, A Horn of My Love. And next is Wolsoyinka, 1934. So he is a Nigerian playwright, poet, novelist, and critic who was the first Black African to be awarded the Nobel Prize for Literature in 1986. So among his works are plays, A Dance of Forest, The Lions and the Jewels, The Trials of Brother Jero, novels, Interpreters, Season of an Enemy, poems, The Idanare, and Poems from Prison, A Shuttle in the Creep, Mandela's Earth, and Telephone Conversation. So, Telephone Conversation is the most anthologized poem of Wolsoyinka. So, it reflects negritude. It is a satirical poem between a black man seeking for a landlady's permission to accommodate him in her lodging house. So, the poetic dialogue reveals the landlady's deep-rooted prejudice against the colored people, as the color plays upon it. So next is Chinua Achebe, 1930. So he is an Igbo novelist acclaimed for his unsentimental depictions of social and psychological disorientation accompanying the imposition of Western custom and values upon traditional African society. So his work includes Things Fall Apart, Arrow of God, No Longer at Ease, A Man of the People, and Hills of Savannah, and Hills of Savannah. Next is Nadine Gordimer. So, 1922, she is a South African novelist, short story writer whose major theme was exile and alienation. So, she received the Nobel Prize for Literature in 1991. Among her works are The Soft Voice of the Serpent, Burger's Daughter, July's People, A Sports of Nature, and My Son's Story. Next is Bessie Higgs. So Bessie Higgs is 1937 to 1986. In her story and novel, she described contradictions and shortcomings of pre- and post-colonial African society. So among her works are When the Rain Cloud Gathers, A Question of Powers, The Collectors of Treasure, and Sarowe. Next is Barbara Kimenye, 1940. She wrote 12 books on children's stories, and she's known as Moises series, which are now standard reading for fair African and school children. Next is Asman Sembi, 1923, is a writer and filmmaker from Senegal. So his works reveal an intense commitment to political and social change. And this work includes Oh My Country, My Beautiful People, God's Bit of Woods, and The Storm. So that's all for today. I hope you enjoy listening and to what I discussed. And see you again next time for another videos. So that's all, and thank you and goodbye.